Here's a trade of GBSN from 4/13/2015. It's a stock that had squeezed recently, as you can see on the 2-week chart here. I'll pull up the yearly here quick. On the yearly, there had been a pump and dump to get a high short holding here. It just ran back down, and then the real volume kicks in and the real squeeze, and you can see all the volume here. So we're going to pull up the 2-week chart just to get far enough back to see the heavy volume where that's at. So we're going to go 2 weeks hourly, and we're going to use that to get the support and resistance. As you can see, the support and resistance is marked out, and I also have it on this Excel document here, GBSN. It's a short sell, and the setup is a fade, SS 3.1, and it is also a fade on the backside of a pump and dump, or the backside of a squeeze. So the heaviest resistance is at 376 in terms of what it had a squeeze over top of, and it breaks that very early on open. And then the next spot where there's heavy volume is actually up here in this range, the 485 to 492 range, and 510 is the very top. The heaviest volume is at 492. So actually look to shorten this 485 to 492 range. And the volume confirmation that you're looking for off of those is you're going to be looking for 2.7 million shares in 1 hour, 400,000 shares in 5 minutes, and 350,000 shares in 3 minutes. These are actually incorrect. Let me correct it quickly. Alright, there, that's fixed now. So now I'll actually pull up the 2-week 5-minute chart and 2-week 10-minute chart. Here is the 2-week 5-minute chart, and as you can see, it puts in 650,000 shares, another 650,000 shares in the first 2 minutes. So I mean, that's already almost 1.2 million shares in 10 minutes. So you're almost close to your hourly volume of 2.7 million. So essentially, it is really squeezing out anyone that was holding it short. And the next thing you want to look for is the 3-minute candles as well. And as you can see, it also puts in higher volume on the 3-minute candles than any of the other prior squeeze volume as well. So now we're going to go to the daily and pull up the 1-minute candles just to see a little more closely how it traded. As you can see, it squeezes straight up on the open. And makes just a parabolic uptrend here, and you always expect there's going to be some kind of hitch here, and it actually looks ready to break down here momentarily. So this would be a tempting spot to take a starter short. The stock does squeeze up to 485. So what I would have done with 4,000 shares is I would have took a starter right here on this first spot where it looked ready to break down, and I would have filled another 1,000 shares at 485 and set another 1,000 shares to fill at 487 and then 492. As you can see, it broke down and formed a nice downtrend, and it looked like the stock would just fade the remainder of the day, but it actually breaks this downtrend and starts to form an uptrend. And by this point in time, I was looking at the hourly candles, and I did not want it to break 457, as that was where the heavy volume was on the hourly on the day. And what happens is it breaks for 457, and I cover, and it squeezes back up into the 485, 492 range, and it looks weak a couple of times on the 5-minute candles, so I actually reshort. And the first time I actually ended up taking a 10-cent loss, getting at 480, cover at 490, then it takes a quick spike down actually, then gets short at 480 again, and from there it just fell off the rest of the day. The volume never kicked in here at the high of the day, so essentially it was almost more like a double top. And as you can see, so you draw your trend line from here to here, from these top peaks. It does eventually break that, and when it does, that's when it actually takes its very, very large washout later on in the day. So as the trade develops, you get short here again, and you basically have a 480 average overall, even after the small loss. You had actually a 5-cent gain on the cover at 457, and then a 10-cent loss here, and then actually get back in at 480. So overall, you actually end up having roughly a 480 average, if I remember right. Then the stock basically just trades off, forms a nice little downtrend to start here, and it never really forms another uptrend the remainder of the day. It trades sideways and just continues to break down. And this was your big wash later on in the day that really helped make the dump happen. And looking at the hourly, which is what I really like to watch throughout the day, you can see once it breaks this 457 on an hourly candle, it comes up over top of it a little bit here once, but other than that, it stays underneath it. So if you had set your risk here off of the top of this candle at 462, you would have been safe the remainder of the day. And I'm assuming that little pop there was very brief. I want to look quick. Looks like that spike had to happen very early in the hour, and it just did not hold up at all. So anyhow, it was a very good trade. The price target was determined by the hourly candle, and what we actually wanted to look for was a mid-range on the hour candle, and the mid-range on this hour candle was roughly 404. So once the stock got down to 404, took profits and called it a day. That's an 80-cent profit, and that's a really, really good trade. So hopefully you'll get more setups like this, and we'll post more videos.